Good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this August 11 version of AM Live on EOA, and a new slogan we're trying out, Eastern Oregon's Streaming Network. Gives it a little bit more definition. We're glad that you are here with us. If you are following with us or you want to find our content, go to EOA.network, and that takes you to a link tree where you can find the locations of our stuff. Sometimes that link is a little slow to respond. We're working on that, but still that EOA network is the thing. That is the place where you'll be able to find our content. And of course, always you can go to the website, EOA.tv, and find everything. So glad you're here with us. So how are you, man?
Good. Second Monday.
Yeah.
I'm not messing that up this week. I know what day of the week it is this week. It's far enough away from Shrine that my brain's starting to get back to normal.
Yeah.
But it's not as smoky today.
No.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's changed fire-wise. I mean, if anything, it's gotten bigger. But the smoke is not, at least not sitting in the valley. It's not getting capped.
Yeah. Well, and I think, I'm sure there's a science to all of that and why it comes in and why it stays, and
I think it stays because there's something heavier on top of it holding it down, right?
Right.
Like there's some kind of pressure.
And I think when there's some kind of a breeze, then it blows it on to somebody else's neighborhood where it sticks.
Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Please. I don't like the smoke.
So, yeah. And in fact, here in a little bit, we're going to talk to Mo Donegan, who is the rancher that we talked with a couple of weeks ago about some wolf problems or potential wolf problems that he was having. And when I talked to him on the phone last night, he was talking about, he's in that area that is potentially being evacuated for the fires coming down from Tollgate area.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well, they're in three. They're in one still, right?
Yeah, I think
they're
so.
Still in one. Because he's on the northeast side of Elgin. So it would have to make its way all the way through Elgin to get to him.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, I think so.
There's not a lot to burn in between him and, once you get over that hill, it's pretty wide open for a while. So, I don't know what the chances would be of it getting to him unless it went around. Just looking at it like geographically.
Yeah, but you and I were talking yesterday how just the fires of, I was up at Camp Elkanah this last weekend, and when you just see how the cabins, just our way of life is to put houses or cabins or whatever right among the trees. That's what's beautiful and pretty, but it's not defendable at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, historically, we haven't been the brightest species. We do a lot of dumb stuff.
Well, it's not unlike the hurricane people who rebuild their houses in the same location, the same place, right? Yeah.
There's a comedian that I like, and he's talking about Hurricane Alley, and he's like, why don't you just move? How hard is it for you to move? Your house has wheels, saying they're all trailer trash. You know what I mean? Like, your house has wheels. Push that thing down. Get out of there. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun to live in Hurricane Alley. No way.
No.
Yeah, or like San Francisco, like that. I was in a couple big earthquakes as a kid.
Yeah.
I was in one when I was in college that you would have crapped your pants. We were upstairs, and I was with a couple of dudes on my team that had never been in an earthquake.
Yeah.
And upstairs in the apartments, they have these old wrought iron steps, so it's wrought iron, and then it's concrete, just steps. You know what I mean? Like cheap. We're up there, earthquake, and I was JJ. He's crying. I'm like, get in the doorway or under a table. And you can see the stairs just bouncing around. It was pretty funny. But like people that have never been in an earthquake, they were freaking. I've been on a lake in the middle of an earthquake.
Oh, I bet that's weird.
Right in the middle of Lake Poway.
Yeah. And
fishing with my grandpa. And it's weird because the waves, usually move towards the shore.
Right.
Or in an earthquake, they move to the middle. They
Oh, interesting.
Because the ground, it does something weird, and you're just, it You can literally see the vibration when you're on water.
Huh.
It's really weird.
I've been in one. I mean, I was in a slight one, when I was in college, but when I was in El Salvador for that Rotary trip, was on the 4th floor of a hotel, and thankfully it didn't last very long, but still, that was a very unsettling feeling.
Yeah, well, there's not much you can do.
No.
All you can do is just get in the door or get under a table and hopefully it's not the big one. Right? Or hope you're outside. Outside's a good place to be during an earthquake.
Well, they had another earthquake yesterday. Or maybe it was just recently down in, it was devastating. Wasn't Venezuela or another South American, because they had just had one in Argentina probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And
But that's another one of those things. If you don't like it, don't live near a fault line.
Yeah.
It's that simple. We don't get the earthquakes here
Yeah.
because we're not on the San Andreas Fault.
Yeah.
You're down in San Francisco, Southern California. You're right on a fault line. You're gonna feel it. It's like
I was joking with somebody the other day, and they were talking about the Cascadia event that is supposed to happen at some point. It's like, Eastern Oregon could be beachfront property in the future.
cut it right off.
Yeah. All right, man. You want to do sports?
Let's do it.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Discover the ultimate in customization with Flex Steel. Their collections cater to all styles, ensuring that every piece of furniture in your home is a perfect match. Start designing today at Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Best selection and prices in Eastern Oregon. Shop around and find out. Fall sports are getting ready to blast off. Last week, I went over all of the opening games for LHS and EOU, the schedule basically. Told you when the season kicks off officially for each team. It's super exciting. It's coming right up. This week is when we're really gonna hit the teams and the coaches, interviews with players, and probably the most important interview of the fall. Not to take anything away from volleyball or soccer or cross country, but this staff is completely revamped, including the first new head coach in 18 years. EOU football. I sat down with all 3 of the new coaches, Solo Taylor, Miguel Avina, and Brian Mills, and that interview is coming out today at 5:30. Here's a little sneak peek. What about, so one of the big questions is like, what would you consider, and I don't care per se like record, but what would you consider to be a decent season this year for you?
Yeah, we want to be competitive.
Yeah.
And I said this when I took this job. When I'm talking about being competitive, I'm talking about consistently competitive, not just a flash in a pan year and then a down year and then a good year and anything like that.
Which is what the past is pretty much been.
For sure. But something where we're setting ourselves up where we want to be competitive, we want to win games, right? Obviously. But something as well too that we can say that this isn't just a flash in the pan thing. This is something that can be consistent dominance. Because I believe, and I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't think this, right? Like, you can build that here at Eastern Oregon. You get it within our football program. If you look at our athletic department and all the success that we've had right there, I don't think there's anything that's stopping football from being able to do the same thing.
Well, my opinion on that, it's all about recruiting. You know that. I've told you that numerous times. It's the hardest team in the conference probably to recruit to. Honestly, just, geographical location. Now, you have some of the best entities. You have one of the best weight rooms in the conference, if not the best. You have the indoor field house now. You have a great stadium. But, just geographically, you have to find those certain guys that want to be outside or it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, for sure. And there's certainly, from a geographical standpoint as well, too, right? We tell guys we're not in the middle of nowhere, right? We're not in a massive town. We're not in a miniature town by any means, right? So, but what I do find a lot is even when guys don't know a whole bunch about LeGrand, don't know a whole bunch about this community, Eastern Oregon, whatever, and they come here, they end up liking it.
Yeah.
They end up
That's
liking
true.
it. And the reason I can say that is because at one point I was one of those guys when I came here to play, right? So, and obviously my sister was playing volleyball here, but kind of the same thing, right? You get into this community and how tight knit it is, and how well we support each other in this community, our athletic department and everything right there. Pretty quickly, it starts to feel like home.
That interview, along with interviews with Brian and Miguel, drops today at 5:30 on our YouTube, Facebook, and Roku. It's super exciting. Planning on doing women's soccer next, probably, and then volleyball, EOU-wise. I had a great conversation with EOU volleyball coach Khaki Moorhead this weekend, and she's pumped up for the season. There's a lot of good reasons why she should be pumped up. EOU, the polls came out for the CCC. EOU starts the season as the #1 team in the CCC, as they should, and they'll probably, I don't think they'll start the season at #1 in the country because they didn't win the national championship last year. But I think they will be in the top 3 to start the season. If you look at it, in the semifinals, they lost to the eventual national champions in 5 sets. They were right there. And, I can't imagine any other goal right now for Khaki than bringing home a red banner, the first team banner in EOU history, and that would be absolutely awesome. If there's something that you guys want to see, like sports-wise, or, coaches, or a certain athlete, drop it in the comments or send us a message, and I'll make it happen. AM Sports Report, brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm, off Adams in LeGrand.
Nice, man. All right. Hey, glad you guys are here with us. We're going to take a quick break and get Mo Donegan on the phone, and we'll be right back.
Eastern Oregon is full of interesting people, with interesting minds and interesting things to say. Here at EO Live, we're committed to connecting you to these intriguing people with EO Talks. We let our special guests share their ideas and life experiences with deep, open, engaging, and inquisitive conversations. You'll also be informed in depth on some of the most recent and relevant events, issues, and more. EO Talks on EO Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon, now on Roku. EO Live is your connection to Eastern Oregon. Tune in for a variety of engaging and relevant local content. See Brent and Doddsy goof and gab with local guests on EO Live's morning talk show, AM Live. Watch Doddsy on EO Live Sports to get the latest sports information and interviews with local coaches, athletes, and more. On EO Talks, we have intriguing and in-depth conversations with people from around Eastern Oregon. Stay in the know about what's happening at the Sheriff's Office. On Keeping It Clear with Cody Bowen, Master Chef Russ Gleason shares delicacies from his Golden Recipe book on cooking across the hall. We're available across the board, including Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Fire, and of course, our very own website, EOA.tv. We even have our own Roku channel with 24/7 live streaming content. You can also listen to our shows on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and many other popular podcast apps. EOA Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon.
Hey.
Hello?
All right, we're back. Hey, how are you, Mo?
Brent, it's all garbled again. That's terrible.
Okay. Well, can you make out my voice? Okay. No, barely. Okay, so here we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I can't hear a word.
All right, we're back again. Are you there, Mo?
I am here. I have not left, Brent.
Oh, good. Well, you're live on the air, so I'm glad that you're here with us, man.
Can you hear me all right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a little congested from all the smoke and everything else. So.
No, we hear you perfectly. So, no, catch us up, Mo. What's going on in your world? Tell us. Wanted to kind of follow up and find out about what was going on with the wolf claims and then also talk to us about the fires.
Well, Brent, listen, first of all, I got to tell you, I really appreciate you reaching out. And you're not the only one. I've had many, many calls on people who have been, thoughtful and concerned about the wolf situation. They did not know anything about it. And they were just, they were sensitive to the issue of the rancher. And I've had no one that's pro-wolf contact me. Everyone that contacted me said, something needs to be done. And Brent, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, and that's, it's one of the reasons that I wanted to do a follow-up is because I think that your perspective is really important and it's not heard very often. So.
No, and Brent, I don't want to be a revolutionary and I don't want to point fingers at anyone, but the situation with the wolves, I mean, we did find, just a quick refresher, we lost 3 full-grown cows with calves on them, and they were pregnant. The last time we talked, we had found 2 of them, and we had not found the 3rd one. Well, a week or 10 days later, a young man out there, 15 years old, found the 3rd one. It was down in the canyon, and all that was left was hide and bones. So I went through the process, and I called ODFW. They sent a biologist out there, and they sent out another guru, and I took them down there, and they wanted to examine the carcass. And all that was left, Brent, was just some bones and a dried up old twisted hide. and they're looking at it, and all the bones are there. And, it's the same process over and over again. They say they want, can you still hear me, Brent?
Yep. We got you good.
Yeah,
Keep
anyway,
going. Yeah.
It's still the same process. They need to find evidence that a wolf killed it. And so they're looking for tooth marks. They're looking for hair. They're looking for something that can prove. And I says, who are we trying to prove this to?
Yeah.
He says, well, we're trying to prove this to people who are pro-wolf and who want to protect them.
Yeah.
I said, if we can't do that, then we would be liable and there would be filing a lawsuit against us. And I've heard this twice. They don't use common sense. They have some rules and regulations that are just impossible to follow. I'm out there every morning checking 250 acres. I'm looking for a sign of a wolf or a dead body. And I had a friend of mine who lives on the other side of the river came over, and we found some wolf droppings out there because I could not tell the difference between a wolf and a coyote.
Yeah.
And he says, Mo, they are here. And what ODF, I mean, Brent, what they told me when they looked at the carcass was, we have never seen wolves kill a cow. And that is, California has, I just read this article, and the number of cows that have been killed in California, like 400 a year.
Yeah.
The Idaho trapper said, hey, we have cows killed here all the time.
Yeah.
So he told me that when he's looking at the bones, then he turns around and says, well, when a wolf kills a cow, they will eat up these bones also. Does that make any sense to you? I've never seen a cow killed, yet when the wolf does it, they will eat up these bones.
They eat
and
up
I
the
said,
bones.
why would they eat the bones when there's a filet mignon sitting there?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all. And so I asked him, I says, what can I do? And they said, well, you can have human presence here.
Yeah.
I said, what am I trying to chase away? And what killed my cows? And their answer is several times, we don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's exasperating for you.
It's terrible because now what do? We're short of pasture. We're starting to feed right now.
Yeah.
And the fire situation is not helping at all.
Yeah.
But I was just looking. I don't know if you read that article, but within the last month or so, UC Davis down in California examined the wolf scat, the wolf droppings.
Yeah.
72% of the droppings are beef.
Wow.
They're not wild animals. We're losing so many animals, especially cattle, to these wolves.
Wow.
And early in the spring, Brent, they have deer calves, they have elk calves that they can take care of. But as they grow up, then as wild animals grow up,
Right.
then there's nothing around but the calves, so they work on those.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse and worse. And California has a terrible problem, and they have no idea how many wolves there are in California. And you know what? Oregon doesn't either. They give us a figure, and all that is an estimation.
Right.
And no, it's extremely frustrating.
What?
And I don't make my living strictly on cattle, but for the ranchers that do, you talk to them and they say, this is really insane. We just can't handle them. We can shoot them if you can find them.
Right.
And finding them is difficult.
Yeah. So what's your plan? What do you want to do? What are you going to do, Mo? What do you think
Brent,
about?
I have no option. Think about it, Brent. If I came to your home and destroyed your property and destroyed your livelihood, and you couldn't call the sheriff because there was no recourse, how would you do that?
Yeah, no, and you're defensible. I mean, you're defenseless in some way. What you need to do is undoable. You know, I mean, you can't be on 250 acres all the time.
No, I can't. And I've got several 250 acres. The original 250 in which these 3 cows were killed, Brent, I have not gone back there because everything I'm reading is wolves make the circuit. And we can hear them. I didn't hear any this morning, but yesterday morning around 4:30 or so, I could hear wolves howling. You know, so I know they're there. They know they're there. ODFW knows they're there, but they will not say that a wolf could probably killed it.
Yeah.
They don't know what did it, but they won't even say it was probable that a wolf. And I have no doubts. So my neighbor, who runs a lot more cattle than I do, he says, Mo, I'm missing 6 or 7 calves every year.
Wow.
He says, I know it's wolves, but I can't find the calves. And he's running on a lot more ground than I am.
Yeah.
The system needs to be changed. And, you know, I can't remember. Who's your cohort? Is it Lyle or Kyle?
Kyle, he's here. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I remember the last time I was here, Kyle said, you know, Mo, the rules and regulations are run by a board of 7 people who are appointed by the governor.
Yep.
Well, you know, I don't know these 7 people, and I don't want to judge them. But, you know, I think some common sense has to be used. And the only choice we have, really, Brent, is our voting.
Yeah.
You know, we have to vote for people who look out and use common sense in their judgments. I mean, I'm looking at what happens, and these people don't use common sense.
Yeah.
You see wolves, you hear wolves, you're in a wolf area, but there's no probability that a wolf killed the animals.
Yeah. You told me last night on the phone that you've had quite a few conversations with Todd Nash and Jake Sievert, right?
Oh, yes. And they have been outstanding, Brent. I mean, both Jake, who's president of the Cattlemen's Association, and Todd Nash, who's our senator, both are sympathetic. And Mo, they say, Mo, we're doing everything we can. And they said, all we can offer you is whatever it costs you if you want to hire someone to run your side-by-side every morning and every evening. He says, we can reimburse you for the gasoline and the time and the expenses. And I said, guys, I really appreciate that. But that's not really what I says, I want my cattle back.
Yeah.
I said, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not sacrificing any more cattle to wolves. And Brent, the biggest thing is, you know, they never introduced the wolf. And the ODF will tell me that. The wolves migrated here, and that's true. But they protected them for so long that it is now out of hand.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And they have no plan.
So are you thinking about selling? I mean, what's your intention?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Brent, I am. In fact, I've advertised. I'm going to get rid of all my mama cows. And you know what? I hate to do that.
Right.
It's really an emotional thing. For my wife, Diane, and I have talked about this. And Brent, I'm a Christian. I'm a strong Christian. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. No accidents happen in my life. So when something like this happens, I need to ask myself, what do I learn from this? And I'm 82 years old. I like doing this, but I can't see sacrificing cattle and have no options. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Yeah. No, in your metaphor before, you would move, you'd figure out a way to mitigate the harm that you're experiencing. So
no, there really, and there are no options. And you know, these public employees, and I don't knock them, but if you're in a job where you really don't agree with the rules and regulations, then why don't you stand up and say, hey, you know what? Common sense tells me that something's wrong with these rules and regulations. They want to collar these. They say that's difficult. I agree, but all the collar does it says, "Hey Mo, there's a wolf within 5 or 6 miles of your place. In the middle of the night."
Yeah.
It just, and I'm not saying you need to get rid of the wolves, but don't protect them.
Yeah.
And Yellowstone put out an article on the benefits of the wolf, on how they help, how they help balance the difference between a prey and a predator, because they get rid of a lot of the prey, and it limits the amount that's out there. And that alone is that a reason to protect these animals? If they're that resilient, if they've lived that long, and if they've made it this far, do they need to be protected?
Yeah.
I mean, there should be maybe a season on them, or limited to so many, but I'm not sure how they're going to do that.
Well, and that's kind of my perspective is that they need to be managed, just like every other game species that's out there is managed. Yeah.
Absolutely, Brent. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And no, you don't know the number of people that called. I mean, if I had 30 calls, 40 calls, I mean, people texting me and saying, "Mo, we've heard it, and we agree with you. What would you like to be done?" I said, what I would like to see done is some limit put on these. Don't protect them. Don't put a bounty on them like they do. I remember when we first moved here in the 60s, there was a bounty on coyote hides. Well, I'm not saying do that, but don't protect them. Maybe even have a limited hunt for them.
Mm-hmm.
But just to try to find proof of a body, and then trying to find on that body, trying to find signs of a wolf when that body's been laying there for weeks.
Yeah.
Brent, that's virtually impossible.
Right.
I mean, it's discouraging, terribly discouraging.
Yeah, no. Well, so talk to me about the fires, Mo. Kind of you're not, where the fire is, you're not in immediate danger, but certainly it's something you're thinking about, right?
Oh, we are, Brent. In fact, I don't know if you're familiar with the fire levels. Fire levels 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Well, within a half a mile of our place is fire level 1, which is get ready.
Right.
Well, for us, that's a big deal. I mean, I've got cattle. I mean, it's bad enough the wolves eat them. Now they're going to get burned up. So we're trying to find a way of providing a safe zone for them. So we have our cat out here, and we're going to have to make a barrier. If we go to level 1, we're going to have to make a barrier and then excavate some ground and make sort of a safe zone for them, for the cattle to put them in, and also our equipment too, because we are in a real bad fire zone. Fortunately, I am in the Elgin Fire Protection District, so they would come out and help out. But this is in all the years we've lived here, this is the most serious fire I've seen this close. As the crow flies, Brent, the fire is probably 6 to 7 miles away. But the area's one is only, it's less than a mile away. And I noticed it had not changed today, but when they say get ready, I mean, they're telling you, take all your valuables out of your house, haul them off somewhere, protect your animals.
Wow.
Protect your equipment the best you can.
Yeah.
Well, I can't move my animals, so we're going to have to, if we get to level 1, we're going to have to excavate an area where we can put them and hope that the fires don't jump from tree to tree like they have been doing.
Yeah.
But it's been a tough year. I mean, started off in January with the winds we had, and anyway, and then went to the wolves. Now it's the fires. Lord, what's next?
Yeah. Well, Mo, thank you so much, and Hannah, I really appreciated getting to know you and your wife when we connected earlier, when you were here in the studio, and my heart just goes out for you because you're my kind of people. You're the kind of people that I was raised with and by, and so I appreciate your story, man.
Well, Brent, I appreciate that too. And like I said, I've had so many people reach out and say, "Hey, why haven't we heard this about the wolves before?" I mean, I'm talking about friends I have who live in New Hampshire,
Yeah.
and not just one or two, but my family originally came from there, and they've reached out, and they were pro-wolf at one time. So yeah, they were a beautiful animal. Yeah, they are, but you're protecting something that we cannot just coexist with them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying get rid of them, but find a way of being able to mitigate this.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man, for jumping into the conversation this morning, and I'll follow up. And if please stay in touch and keep us posted, okay?
You betcha, Brent. Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, have a good rest of the day, man.
You betcha. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. All right. Well, let's take a look at the weather outside, and you can see it's a little smoky out there. You can see the mountains, kind of, not really, but let's see what that. Yeah, you can see how smoky
it's been worse.
Yeah,
it's been worse for sure.
So 91 today, and then 88. You and I were noticing that on Sunday there's maybe a chance of rain, but thunderstorms also, which would not be a good thing.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah. So, but we're in the middle of August, which is just normally the hottest time of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely, no doubt.
So, all righty. Well, you want to get us out of here, man?
Let's do it.
All right.
On this day, 3114 BC, it's traditionally considered the start of the Mesoamerican long count calendar, used by several pre-Columbian Mesoamerican civilizations, most notably the Mayans. 1929, on this day, the New York Yankees slugger Babe Ruth becomes the first Major League Baseball player to hit 500 home runs in a 6-5 loss to the Indians at League Park in Cleveland. 1934, on this day, Alcatraz officially opens as a federal penitentiary. 1951, on this day, the first televised baseball game in color airs on WCBS in New York City. The Boston Braves beat the Brooklyn Dodgers 8-1. 1965, on this day, the Watts riots begin in southeast Los Angeles and last 6 days. 2016, on this day, a Greenland shark is declared the longest living vertebrate in the world at 392 years old by an international team of scientists. 392 years on this place would be terrible, I think. You'd probably get sick of it after a while.
You would think so, right?
I mean, well, sharks don't really have to deal with the same BS we do. But you know what I mean? Like, so I guess for a shark it would be all right.
Yeah.
You just cruise around for 400 years.
You kind of wonder if do they know the days or nights or weeks?
Probably not. I don't think they're that complex.
Yeah.
But as a human, that would be
that would
be rough, man.
Yeah.
That would be rough. Number one movie in America on this day in 2016, which is 10 years ago, Suicide Squad. And the quote of the day comes from Jim Rohn. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. One more time. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for being with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, today, 5:30, the interview with all the new EOU football coaches comes out on all of our platforms.
Yeah. We're also right in the middle of selling ads for the football games, the Pendleton, LeGrand, and Baker City home football games. Great opportunity to advertise if that would benefit your business, or if you have a regional business and you're trying to reach all of those areas at once, there's hardly a better deal. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon.